What's up? This is Jim from The Ghost Inside, and you're watching Loud TV.
So, I was wondering about the first leg of this tour.
They are going over really well. In the past, it's always taken a little bit of time for fans to catch up to the new songs. They're not always like an instant sing-along, and this time it feels like some of the biggest sing-alongs of the whole set are already like the new songs. Without any spoilers, like the first song of the set is a song off the new record, and it is one of the biggest, loudest moments of the set already, so that's really encouraging. The UK shows were amazing, as always. The UK really took care of us. A lot of familiar faces came out. The show in London 2 nights ago was like a real highlight. So yeah, we're looking forward to the Europe leg of this tour quite a bit. Europe has been so good to us over the years, and I think this one is going to be really special.
I think, if I'm not wrong, the first song of the show, your singer starts alone, right?
Yeah, yes.
And so it must be, quite like prepare for war, right?
Yeah, yes. It felt like when we started to put the set list together, like that one was a perfect fit to start the set. It's gotten great response online. We have played it a couple of times. We're like, why don't we just see what happens here? Why don't we just do this one first? So it's going great so far.
I feel one of the highlights of this album, the clean vocals.
Yeah.
It changed a lot in the career of the band, and how came the idea to put more?
The band has always had a little bit of singing, and each record is kind of ebbs and flows depending on who we're working with and kind of just what we come up with. And to be honest, this time around, we did quite a lot of the record with Dan Bronstein, and the very first time we went to the studio with him, and he was like, I think you should do this kind of catchy chorus here with this clean singing. And Vigil was like, I don't always feel really confident about my singing, and Dan just sent him into the vocal booth. He did a few takes, and we all just looked at each other and went, we're singing more. Something about the way Dan works with Jonathan gave him a lot more confidence. It helped him kind of find some new things to do with his voice. And so one of the main reasons that there's more singing is that he's good at it. Why wouldn't we use that a little bit more, And it just sort of like, hey, it happened naturally. We weren't trying to do more singy-songy songs. Just as we kept writing, like, they came out that way. And it's funny that people are kind of focused on that when, there's, I think, 3 of the heaviest songs the band has ever written are on this record with no singing at all. So, yeah, we definitely tried to keep it in balance, but we felt like we had written some hooks and some choruses that we weren't going to leave at the studio because we felt like it's too much singing. If it's good, it stays, and that's our new rule, so.
So you're doing live, the clean vocals live?
Yeah, Jonathan and I share the responsibilities in the live show. It is really difficult to go from the kind of screaming that he does straight into singing, so I kind of help him just pick up the slack there. He sings like virtually everything that's on the record is Jonathan, but when it comes to the live setting, we share the workload, especially in a headline set like this tonight is like an hour and 10 minutes. It's a long time to be up there using your voice for anything. So yeah, I help him where he needs it. And Chris, our other guitar player, is doing a ton of like harmonies and extra vocals as well. So yeah, whatever it takes. Everybody wants to take it to the next level, so it's definitely a team effort.
Did you use different tunings for the bass?
Oh my god, there's so many tunings on this one. We've got a couple of songs that are just in like straight up good old fashioned drop D. A few songs that are in kind of like the standard tuning for the band, which is like a drop B, drop A sharp, and then there's a few that are in like a drop F, a drop G, so Yeah, we've had to explore different ways to get all the tunings together, but we've each got to play 3 different guitars through the course of the set to kind of cover all that. So it is a bit of work, but I think it's worth it, and it definitely adds to the diversity of the sound in a live show to have the different tunings and the different like feelings of heaviness and stuff. So
It's a challenge, right, live?
yeah, life is a challenge, and there are worse problems in the world than having to switch between the beautiful bass guitars that I play.
More serious question about the life of a band, you know,
Yeah.
some up and downs, hooks. You have known different crises in the band.
Yeah,
Between the crash, you have been out of the band for months.
yeah, for a minute.
For a minute. But it seems that you are stronger than ever, right? As a band. As a
Yeah,
team.
yeah. I think the accident really put us in our place in a lot of ways. No one outside of the 10 of us that survived that accident together will ever really understand what that time was like. And I sometimes wonder if we were almost too private about it, that we like didn't really let people in to know how much we were struggling and really like how bad it was for us in that time. And you know, in 2020, having the band go away for everyone, for just the whole music industry go away with the pandemic, created a whole new challenge. But I think it also gave us a sense of urgency. I think coming back after the accident, we were going to be really happy to just be like, oh, we're going to do one show over here and we're going to do one festival over there, and that's going to be good enough for us. But having these big plans of doing those types of shows, and then having all of them get canceled or postponed or whatever due to the pandemic, when we did come back, we were like, had a different attitude about it, that we really needed to make the most of this moment because it's not going to last forever and we don't know when it's going to end. So yeah, it's a whole different sense of purpose now. I think we believed, that's a nice ambulance. I think we believed there would be like one record and that we would play some shows and that might be all that was left of the band for us. We are at page 1 of the next chapter of The Ghost Inside, that like we aren't anywhere near the end, that this feels more like a beginning, and to have been a band for almost 20 years and feel like we're at the start of something is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I've heard that your drummer also is more positive in every day, you know?
Yeah, it's amazing. I didn't suffer a lot of physical injuries in the accident, so for me, I've always had a front row seat to like some of the physical things that the other guys have had to overcome, which yeah, like I said, I think most people don't really even still know the extent of like the injuries that the guys have overcome. And so to every night look at Andrew, who I saw almost dead in a hospital bed, up there playing drums, arguably the best he's ever played them, is astonishing. Like, he should be dead, and instead he's playing drums. Like, you know, like it's yeah, it's crazy. It's a crazy feeling to be up there. I'm so proud of him, and he does it every day with a smile too. It's very cool.
And maybe we can feel the, you know, the challenge in this album is how to transform Wrath, which is one of my favorite song of the album because it's fucking awesome, breathlessness, anguish attitude into a positive attitude, you know?
Yeah, the band has always been about looking for the positives and trying to have a positive attitude and looking for the light at the end of the tunnel and the upsides of things. And in the past, we always felt like every song had to end on that upwards note. And this time around, we let ourselves be free to explore some of the more negative feelings and experiences that we've had. We still want to make sure that when people listen to The Ghost Inside, they feel like the world is a good place and that there's positivity and there's a reason to smile. But we don't feel like they have to get that from every single song. So you have to go listen to the whole record. And I think at the end of the record, you're going to have that feeling. But I think in a way, exploring bad feelings is more honest. And that was something that was really important to us because it definitely hasn't been all rainbows and butterflies for us for the last 10 years. And there was no reason to hide that because that's how life is. We live such a amazing, privileged existence to be in the band, and oftentimes kind of like not living in real life. But real life is full of so many big ups and big downs. And I think it makes it more relatable for the band to say, like, yeah, we also have those ups and downs, and maybe they don't look exactly like someone who's home working a job every day of the week, but it's relatable all the same.
Yeah. What's the future for after this tour? I mean,
we finish this tour, we go home to the US and do a tour quick. We do a cruise with Parkway Drive in January. We'll be on a boat for a week. And then we're going to have most of the spring off to kind of start writing for the next record, which is crazy. I didn't think there would be this one, and now there's the next one. So, yeah. And then some of them are starting to be announced. We'll be back for festivals in Europe next summer, and then kind of see where it all takes us.
are you confident for the future?
Yeah, yes. It feels like a really good time to be the Ghost Inside. We're having a really good time together as friends and as bandmates. And it also feels like, you know, the fans that are coming to these shows are appreciating us in a whole new way as well. That fans that have been with us and grown with us for a long time are psyched to see us in this moment, and there's a lot of new people getting to see us for the first time. People who may not have seen us prior to 2015 getting to see their first Ghost Inside show. So in that way it does feel fresh, like when someone sees you for the first time and they immediately go on Instagram and they're like, that's the best show I've ever seen, I've been waiting for that for so long, I can't wait for the next one. That's the sort of stuff that keeps you going.
My last question.
Yeah.
Do you really believe in ghosts?
Yeah. The jury's out a little bit. Chris and I last year did a ghost hunters thing at this old prison, and I would have said before that, like, I didn't really necessarily believe in ghosts, but we had some pretty spooky experiences where I'm like, maybe there's a little connection between this life and the afterlife.
Maybe in New Orleans, no?
Yeah, oh, New Orleans is so spooky. It's such a spooky place. Yeah, a lot of voodoo down there for sure.